Think about 5 o'clock, so I'm gonna call the meeting to order. Stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Ken was unable to get back tonight from a commitment he had, so asked me to stand in for him tonight. So, all right, I would look for approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved.
I have a first, any second? Second? Okay, any discussion? If not, we'll do a vote on that. All those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 Opposed, the same. All right, the agenda is approved. Study session 3.1, athletic facilities timeline update. Lori.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Dr. Funk, I want to give you an update on some timelines regarding the athletic facilities. We have some upcoming bid dates. December 6th is our current target date for the bid opening for the whole general Hammerfield complex. And then also December 13th is our target date for the Halverson Elementary bid opening. Bid results for these two bid openings would be brought to the December 17th board meeting for approval. And just also as a comment that we had a bid opening on October 31st. This was in regards to the high school HVAC gym upgrade and the locker room renovations, and that bid result will be brought to the November 19th board meeting for formal approval.
Any questions or thoughts?
I see that there's a piece of demolition equipment out at Hammerfield. Any idea on when they're going to start knocking it down? The main stadium there and the field house?
All I know is that they have started, but I don't know the exact date of what certain pieces will be demoed. Yeah.
I suppose asbestos and things like that, removal and.
Right. Yep. Steve said that was obviously the first thing.
And
yep.
Then I think I heard too, were they going to reuse some of the bleachers or something maybe in the swimming area?
Part of the one of the things they're looking at currently in the swimming pool right now, we have concrete steps people can sit on to watch the swimming take place. There's no actual benches. So one of the things we're looking at doing is taking the decent seats that we have in the main stadium and taking them out and reutilizing them there. And so it really will cost us very minimal to do that.
Yeah, very good. That'd be great. Any other questions on the timeline? Okay, thanks, Lori. And 3.2 is athletic complex naming discussion. Presenter, Dr. Funk.
Yeah, this has come up a few weeks ago. I was asked, all right, we are really redoing the entire complex. And so somebody asked me the question, are we going to still call it Hammerfield? And I said, I don't know. And I said, I don't feel comfortable saying, yes, we are. And so I thought it would be an opportunity to really come to the board, get your thoughts on it. Maybe we go and get the community's thoughts on it, and really see, we are really, it's going to be a new beginning out there. So is this the time we want to take and look at an opportunity to really rename the complex if we do? And if so, what does that mean? The other thing that kind of goes along with that is while we were having the referendum last spring, we had some renderings of what the plaza area would look like, and they had a nice big tiger in the plaza area. And so I heard feedback, we're paying all this millions of dollars for a tiger on a statue someplace, and that was never part of the project. That is a nice, kind of like the tiger at the high school, all right? It's a nice enhancement to the project, but we aren't in the process of raising tax dollars to build statues someplace. So it's an opportunity if we take a look at, all right, are we going to rename the complex? What are we going to do? And if we do, maybe we align what we're doing in the plaza area with the new name, if that's the case, or whatever. So I just thought this would be an opportunity to have a discussion with the school board on just general thoughts on it, and because, you know, over the next few months as we firm up more of the planning here, it'll give us some direction on where the community wants to go with this. So that's my thought on it.
Any thoughts from anyone on the board about enhancing our project that we'll be working on?
Well, it's, my thought was just it would always stay the same, so now I have to like think this over and stuff. Is it possible that we name like the plaza something, the football stadium something, the softball fields? I mean, is that an option too? Like maybe?
Yes.
Okay, because that would be, I think, more inclusive. We could do more with that than if we could do something like that.
Like even Jim Gustafson Field, remaining Jim Gustafson Field, Hammer Complex after the old school, but then softball fields, practice fields, our locker room facility too, or even rooms in the locker room. I think there'll be a community style room in there and things like that. So opportunity, scoreboard enhancements, things like that, yeah.
Even the plaza itself could have a name. Maybe that gets, I'm getting too complicated here, but.
I think that the entire project's going to offer a lot of opportunities to name new components or existing components that really probably didn't merit a name before, but now they do. There are going to be some significant components, but then the entire complex. I don't know. You know, currently I think Hammer would refer to the entire block. You know, all the fields out there and buildings, and I'll be interested to hear what the public has in mind in terms of we want to continue to call it Hammer Complex, or should we have a name the complex contest, or just informal discussions with our constituents. But I'll be interested to hear some results of what the public has in mind there.
I would also be interested to see what the public thinks as far as names and how many.
And also, all of those components, like the softball fields, the B squad baseball field, and practice fields, all of those components would offer an opportunity for some person or group of persons who wanted to contribute towards some of the enhancements of this complex, would give them an opportunity to make a contribution and then be recognized for that contribution in connection with the particular aspect or a particular component.
So what you have up here is, go ahead and move forward a number of slides. Get to where it's Alexandria. Okay, right there. So this is Alexandria High School, and go to the next slide. And so this is an example of what they have done in their high school for people who have donated to different projects they have in their building or in their athletic complex itself, or their choir area or their orchestra area. And depending upon the size of your name on that board is the size of your donation. So the bigger the name, the larger the donation. Go ahead, Ashley. So in their auditorium, they have a system for the hearing impaired. They have a plaque in the auditorium that says, thanks to the Seratoma Club for doing something like that. Next. They have an orchestra room that has a wooden floor that's good for sound. So those individuals provided that. Tastefully Simple is, what is it? Is it some company, large company up in Alexandria, kind of like Mrs. Jerry, I'm guessing, donated their auditorium, so they have that on it. Let's go ahead. Their fitness center has that company. Their training room has orthopedic specialist. So go ahead. And then there's a plaque outside by one of their dugouts that has the same thing. I don't know what the plaque says, and that's just more branding. That's a video scoreboard. We can skip through that, or a trophy scoreboard. Here's what we have here locally, different ideas. So we have an opportunity if we want, whether it's upgrading Hammer Field and looking at potential names or naming potential parts of it, to really, if we want to enhance some things, because we have some base things in the plan right now, but if we want to make them even better, we could seek donors to donate, or even to enhance that plaza area with the statues that we're talking about. So John Double kind of threw this together. He was up in Alexandria last week, and so I told him to take a look at what they're doing, because they've done a lot of this recognition and for people who have helped with their newer facility up there. So those are just some different ideas.
Like you said, a basic scoreboard, and then to enhance the scoreboard would be something we'd be looking at, or might be a trackster that would want to add something to the finish line. Who knows? I mean, with a track. So very good. Any other thoughts or questions around the complex naming, or just even enhancement fundraising?
Yeah, I think it's important that the public knows that we didn't enter into a project here anticipating a lot of contributions so that we can complete the project. That the project is funded. It would operate without any contributors, but it's always nice to have an opportunity to make something good a little better.
There's a lot of times with the project too, when there are people, alumni or significant others that have just always felt a lot about their school, or community member and then maybe didn't graduate from here, thought a lot about their school and the project, and has some passion about it, and says, I'd like to give something and have my name there, just as recognition for the kids.
So I guess what I'm looking for is some guidance from the board, because what I'm hearing is, okay, maybe we should ask the community on this. Specifically, what do we want to ask them? I mean, do we want to ask them, would you be interested in renaming the complex? Would you be interested in naming parts of the complex? If you are interested in renaming things, what would be of interest? I mean, we're kind of wide open here on this whole opportunity here. But again, I see this as a potential opportunity for our community, so I'm seeking input.
Something like putting together a committee again, as we did, or just maybe get some basic feedback. Hopefully after tonight's meeting, people will be thinking about it a little bit. I guess if we go as far as deciding that, then at some point we'd have to even look at different levels for different types of donors, even on different things they might want to do or projects they might want to be part of. So, I mean, I think it would be good to, we could ask the community again, like we did at the beginning when we're looking at the referendum, if there's a group of people that like to get together, and maybe again we start with the booster clubs. And it's not just an athletic complex by any means. I mean, maybe the Blue Zones wants to come out and finish a walkway all the way around and call it a special Blue Zones project or something on that order. I think that probably could be. It's something I had in mind from day one, even with our community in the Blue Zones. We probably don't need to make a motion on this, just.
That might be a good place to start, because I know I've heard the comment that no matter what we name something, it's always going to be Hammer Field. So, maybe the community would want it to remain Hammer Field and then break out the different pieces. Whatever makes most sense for the community makes most sense for us as a district, I think.
I think, yeah, have just set up a meeting, and then anyone who is interested can come and they can have a discussion and kind of figure it out, and, some broad ideas, and then you can bring that back here.
Need a motion on that, just to charge you in that direction. If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. So, got a first? Second? All those, any discussion?
Just a reminder, canvassing for the election is Tuesday morning, the 13th at 7 o'clock.
The 13th, you said? At the high school again? Or right up here, right here? Okay, 7 a.m. canvassing, all right. Anything else? All those in favor of adjournment signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the same. Meeting adjourned.